Well, based on the results of a test ride I took earlier, which I didn't record on video, I'm now going to go for another ride because there's been a development which I hope to share here. We're still on the 375 monoblock carburettor borrowed off the Scrambles Cub replica, but I've made an adjustment and I'm very, very surprised and pleased with the result. So I'm going to attempt the Bantam Hill route. Slightly unwelcome side effect of what I've done has introduced clutch slip. So that may well be a big clue as to what we've got to come here. Well, I wonder if they'll make it down the road to us. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Actually ended up doing, I just had a look at the points, and the points gap was about 12 now. I opened it up to 15. That was probably not quite half throttle, but I gave it a big handful back there, it took it no problem. Notice the clutch slipping a little. Purring along back there at an indicated 55 to 60 mile an hour. Quite happy with life with the throttle. Like I say, probably not half open really. Right, let's see how we get on up here. Top gear. Flew up that hill, straight into the parcel doors fan. It looks like the cylinder head can stay put, thankfully. I'll just keep an eye on that slight oily weep. But I don't think there's any need to lift the head just yet. So it wasn't the valve springs after all. I'm not quite sure whether going up from 12 on the points gap to 15, that the actual gap is what clinched it, but it would have slightly advanced the ignition timing some more. And maybe that's what had the effect. Tell you what, it's a fast little animal. Oh, and the throttle response now is out of this world. I am probably going to try going back to the 376 monoblock that I set up for it, because clearly must have been more to do with the points and the points gap and the slight change in timing in the gaffer's brought than the carburation itself. The only big difference really between the two carburetors, and I'll keep it in mind, is this one. They've both got 140 main jets in them, but this one's got a 105 needle jet. The bigger 376 has a 106. So I'll keep that in mind, but I reckon I can get this one to run nicely with the 376 on it, as it should have according to the factory specs. And that would give us a little bit of a performance gain again. Because the choke size of this 375 carburetor is a good bit smaller than the inlet port on the cylinder head. If I get the 376 working on it, we should have a good bit more top end poke. But I've finally been able to prove that it's running okay, so mechanically things must be alright. But what a chase it's been! Really tearing my hair out. And today is a Monday, it's supposed to be a work day, but I've been so distracted by this bike I wouldn't have been able to concentrate on my work, but I'm glad that we've turned the corner with it at last. I don't think there'd be a lot in it, but I think the larger 376 monoblock would give us a few mile an hour on the top end. I don't think much else would change. Well, at least we got to give it a bit of a handful back there. We've been able to prove that this thing can run nicely, which I was beginning to wonder if it ever would. It's also got plenty of get up and go from low down when you open the throttle. Well, this is probably carburettor accepted my first ride on a full-blown sports cub, which has been running as it should. And I've got to say, the difference in the power and performance between it and a standard one is just, well, night and day. Mind you, with 14.5 horsepower compared to 10, that's a 45% increase. I think I'm going to have to attend to the clutch fairly soon if I'm going to be getting the best out of it, but I'm very, very pleased with what we did there. We're still reading a good 5 mile an hour high on the speedometer, at least at that sort of speed. I think higher up, when we were going faster earlier on and it was showing about 55, I think that may have been a little more closer to the truth, but the low speed readings are still a bit high. Finally, I'll be able to focus on the work I've got to do to earn a living, knowing that one of my babies is alright at last. It's been a difficult birth, this one, but I think we finally turned a major corner. What a nippy little thing though. I might even see if I can get my friend Lee to spray the fuel tank for me. Get it all looking really nice. Just plodding along in top gear there. Well, that was a revelation, wasn't it? Then we got a hot start without any trouble. Well, I'm very pleased with that. That means that whatever follows, the cylinder head can stay on. I will try putting a 376 back on it and just see how it behaves with that, but I know now that it can run perfectly well on the timing settings it's on, and the points gap, etc. is happy with life there, so I know it can do it. So if I put the 376 back on and it doesn't like it, well then I'll have to work on the settings of that, because it really should work okay on a 376. But major progress there, and what a fantastic little bike it's turned out to be after a long uphill battle. I'm very happy.